Okay, so we're going to try to decompose this one here. We're trying to find roots or x-intercepts or the zeros. And the easiest way to do that is to turn this into factored form. We have to recognize that this is already in standard. And because it's in standard, if you're familiar, this would be your A value in standard. This 5 coefficient would be the B value. And the constant would be your C value, -4. And to decompose, what we're looking for is two values that when multiplied together are going to equal A times C, which in this case is -24. And those same two values need to add up to whatever our B value is. And in this case, that's +5. We can run through a list of factors of 24. So we have 24 and 1, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. 3 and 8, I get the feeling, are going to be our culprits just because the difference between them is 5. And this is going to be a negative. So let's say I do 3 times 8 and 3 plus 8. Okay. 3 times 8 will give us 24, but one of those has to be negative. And 3 plus 8 doesn't quite give us 5, but if I subtract them, they would. In fact, if this was -3 times 8, that would give us, or sorry, -3 plus 8, that gives us 5. So we're going to say this is -3 times 8. Once we have those two values, I'm going to rewrite the original. We're going to decompose the B term in this case. So we're going to split it. And we're going to split it into the -3x and +8x. Okay, the rest of the equation is going to stay the same. 6x squared and -4. Now what we do is we factor by grouping. So we have our first group, so the first two terms, and we have our second two terms. The first two terms, if we're going to find a common factor, we can take 3x out of both of these. And the second two terms, we can take 4 out of both of these. Okay, so when we do that, 3x becomes the common factor. We end up with 6x squared divided by 3x gives you 2x. And -3x divided by 3x is -1. And here, +4 should be the common factor. When we divide, we get 2x minus 1. That works out. We common factor the -2x minus 1. And then the second bracket, I'm not sure what happened there, is 3x plus 4. So now this is the decomposed state of it. If we want to find our x-intercepts, we set both those brackets equal to 0. It's the same idea as, we have to find two multiples of 0. So we'd say 0 equals 2x minus 1. We bring the 1 to the other side. We get +1 equals 2x. X equals 1/2. And the other one was 3x plus 4 equals 0. We bring 4 to the other side, we get -4, and x is equal to -4/3. So these end up being our two roots in this case. If we wanted to find an axis of symmetry, we have to put these through the AOS formula. So we can quickly try to do that on the next page here. So the next page, actually what I got to do is I have to add a page. Our AOS formula, we'll write it in. 2, and our two values, I'm going to quickly jump back and look, -4/3 and 1/2. So we have 1/2 and -4/3. These ones are a little tricky to work with, these fractions. We could technically just turn them into their decimal values for this part. But actually, this ends up having to be a very unique decimal value. You get -1 1/3, which means you have a repeating decimal. I'll make them common fractions for this one. So 3/6 and -8/6. We'll put it into the AOS formula. -8/6 plus 3/6, all divided by 2. That's going to be -5/6. And then when you divide all of that by 2, it's actually the same as multiplying just the top value by 2. So you're going to get -10/6, which reduces to -5/3. So that's where the AOS should be. And then finally, to find out if it's a max or a min, we'll go back to the original. I'm going to bring that to this page here just so we have it. 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. We know that this opens upwards, so it's going to be a min value. And we're going to have to plug this fraction in. Okay? So we're looking for, because this was f at x, we're looking for f at negative 5 over 3. So this becomes 6 negative 5 over 3 squared plus 5 times 5 over 3 minus 4. Negative 5 over 3 squared is 25 over 9 plus 25 over 3 minus 4. We can reduce these. I can take a 3 from here and a 3, make this a 2. It becomes 50 over 3 plus 25 over 3 minus 4. I'm running out of room, but 75 over 3 minus 4. 4 is going to be 12 over 3. So we're going to look at 75 over 3 minus 12 over 3. And that's going to give us our minimum value for this one. So that gives you 63 over 3. What we'll do is we'll jump into decimals to kind of confirm our answer here. And when we type this in, you get 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. And 63 over 3 as a minimum value. Okay. Oops.